main thrust of what the Supreme Court has decided today. The three important things that the court has decided today during the hearing, which started yesterday once again. And the court, the Chief Justice, has said that the farm law stayed till further orders are passed. So very clearly putting the farm laws in abeyance. The Chief Justice, remember, had made some very startling, very in terms of very harsh comments as far as the government is concerned. The CJI also has said formed the panel, the four-member panel, and the panel, it has said that won't mediate, it will only hold talks. So it's not that the panel is going to decide on the farm laws, it is going to hold talks and then will go back to the Supreme Court of India and present their report. The CJI also has said that we cannot delay the farm laws indefinitely, and that is why a time-bound 2-month time has been given to the four-member committee. Let's listen in few of their reactions after the Supreme Court passed its order.
हाँ, देखिए, ये किसानों की जीत है, किसानों की जीत है। माननीय सर्वोच्च न्यायालय सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जो हम लोगों की पिटीशन थी सुप्रीम कोर्ट में, इन कानूनों के खिलाफ ये कानून लागू नहीं होने चाहिए, उन कानूनों को लागू न करने के लिए सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने आज स्टे कर दिया है। और कमेटी गठित करने के लिए हमने कुछ नाम सुझाए थे, ऑनरेबल जस्टिस मार्कंडे काटजू, कुरियन जोसेफ और भी जस्टिस के नाम बताए गए, उनके नाम पर विचार करके आगे कमेटी गठित कर। और भारतीय किसानों के जितने किसानों के संगठन है, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, उन सब के अध्यक्ष को उस कमेटी में रखा जाए। हमने कहा विज्ञान भवन बहुत बड़ा है, उसमें कमेटी जब भी बुलाई जाए, मीटिंग हो तो उनके अध्यक्षों को बुलाया जाए और उसके साथ अगर लीगल रिप्रेजेंटेटिव की जरूरत है उनके एडवोकेट को बुलाया जाए, जिससे आगे सारी प्रोसीडिंग हो सके।
जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जो निर्णय दिया है, मैं उसका स्वागत करता हूं और निश्चित रूप से किसानों को जब ये लगेगा कि हाँ, ये हमारे हित में है और उस कमेटी के माध्यम से जब बातचीत होगी और जब सुप्रीम कोर्ट इन बिलों को ठीक समझेगा, उस समय या तो एज इट इज, नहीं तो कुछ संशोधनों के साथ, या इनको समाप्त करने की बात भी कहेंगे, तो ये सुप्रीम कोर्ट के ही हाथ में है। अब चूंकि गेंद सुप्रीम कोर्ट के पाले में गई है और इसकी सुनवाई के बाद और मैं समझता हूँ इसका निर्णय जो होगा वो सबको स्वीकार्य होगा।
Each member of this country, each citizen of this country, including the farmers, were very, very hopeful that now Supreme Court has also intervened, something will happen. But when we look at the character, the stance, the ideology of these four members, all four members have taken a public stance. And they have sided with Modi government and they stand for the implementation of the 3 black laws that the farmers are agitating.
Okay, so after the Supreme Court's decision, have the farmers accepted it? What is happening on the ground? Let me very quickly take you to this breaking news which is coming in. The core committee of the farmer unions, those who are protesting, met today and they have unanimously decided that the deadlock is going to continue because they are adamant that they will continue to protest against the farm laws and they are not going to present themselves today in front of this committee. In fact, in the court today as well, the 3 key lawyers, those who were representing the farmers, those who are protesting, were not present at this very important hearing. The farmers plan to hold a tractor rally on 26 January as well. So the farmers are completely unrelenting, even despite the Supreme Court, in fact, now saying that the farm laws have been put in abeyance.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने एक आज फैसला किया है जो हमें मीडिया के जरिए ही पता चला है। अभी तक उसकी कॉपी या उसके बारे में डिटेल्स हमें नहीं मिली है, लेकिन जैसे डॉक्टर दर्शनपाल जी ने कहा कि हम समझते हैं कि सरकार की ये शरारत है कि वो अपने ऊपर से ये प्रेशर कम करने के लिए सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जरिए ये कमेटी वगैरह ले आए, जिसका हमने कल ही विरोध कर दिया था कि हम ऐसी कमेटी के सामने पेश नहीं होंगे। हमारा आंदोलन एज इट इज सरकार के साथ चलता रहेगा।
So now there is also a lot of confrontation and confusion, even a lot of, in fact, distrust as far as the 4 members of this committee are concerned. Who are these 4 members? Pramod Kumar Joshi. He is an international food policy, he's from the International Food Policy Research Institute. The important thing, ladies and gentlemen, is that he has supported the 3 farm laws before he was member of this committee. Ashok Gulati, agriculture scientist, he also supports the 3 farm laws. Bhupender Singh Maan, Bharatiya Kisan Union president, supports the 3 farm laws with few amendments. And Anil Ganwat, Shetkari Sangathan president, he supports the 3 farm laws. So 4 members named by the Supreme Court largely supporting the farm laws. And this, ladies and gentlemen, has once again created a lot of mistrust as far as the farmers are concerned. They believe that this committee, in their head at least, the committee already is going to favor the government side point of view. Rahul Srivastava, National Affairs Editor, India Today, joining us at this moment. Rahul, 4 members. I mean, this for the farmers who are facing a deadlock in the talks with the government. Now they say it's better to talk to Agriculture Minister than 4 people appointed by the Supreme Court. All of them have a similar point of view, which is against what these farmers have been saying.
Ankit, I think with this decision of the Supreme Court today, the protest against the farm bills and the friction has entered what I will call an uncharted territory. It's a slightly out of the court element to it, where the Supreme Court has preferred for mediation by an expert panel in a friction between the government and the farmer unions. Now, till now, farmer unions could take on the government because they could politically and otherwise pursue any kind of negotiation and demands with the government. But with this committee, irrespective of what kind of credentials or background these members come from, there are certain questions. What if the farm unions and farmers do not represent themselves in the meetings? Can there be contempt? Will the eventual, in case a report is created, will that report be binding? And if that report is binding, will the farmers agree to it? And if they don't, what will be the consequences? Now, the courts in this country are supposed to adjudicate on the legality of bills, whether they are arbitrary, whether they are against public interest. That's the mandate of the courts. But the mediation element adds a new twist to the whole tale. And that is why even the government, which might be relieved at the very idea, despite the bitter reprimand from the Supreme Court, even the government is not very sure where exactly does the issue go from here. Because the farmers are very clear that it is the government which has to put the laws as far as the repealing and cold storage is concerned. Second, beyond the court order that the bill's implementation should be stayed, what happens to the entire infrastructure and the practices which came in after the bills have started? What will happen to them? That's why I'll say an extremely uncharted, unsure territory has started as far as the farm protests and the farm laws are concerned.
Rahul Srivastava, thank you for giving us the sense, in fact, as far as this entire agitation is concerned, because, you know, a lot of people would only look at it from a single prism of, you know, the Supreme Court has put them in abeyance. Why aren't the farmers going back? It's not simple as that, ladies and gentlemen. And for that, we'll be going to our guests. In fact, we'll be joined on the show by Sanjay Hegde, senior advocate. Guru Prakash Paswan, BJP spokesperson, is also going to join us. We'll also be joined by Mr. Vijay Jamandia, former founder member of the Shetkari Sangathan. But before I go to them, I just want to put out certain questions that we would like answers to, or we would like to explore during this discussion with our guests. In fact, will the Supreme Court decision pave way for the solution between the protesting farmers and the government, which now seems highly unlikely? Is the Supreme Court decision an embarrassment to the government of India? Should the farmers now dial down the protest? And Supreme Court decision, is it a partial victory for the farmers or a space-saving measure or a breather for the government of India? Let me now, without any further delay, go across straight to Mr. Vijay Jamandia. Mr. Jamandia, I want to understand from you, sir. We heard the press conference of the Coordination Committee members. They have, though, said that we welcome what the Supreme Court has done as far as the law is concerned, putting that in abeyance, staying on the implementation. But the protest will continue, and neither are you interested in going to in front of the 4-member committee. A lot of people would be asking the question, sir, neither do you have, I mean, this will show neither you have faith in the government nor in the top court of the country.
See, I also welcome the decision of Supreme Court of keeping these 3 laws in abeyance. But the committee announced by the Supreme Court is actually, I am astonishing. Why all 4 are supporters of free market? I know every one of them except Joshi. Mr. Maan was with me in All India Kisan Coordination Committee. I was also president of that. And I opposed Sharad Joshi supporting free market. Maan was with Sharad Joshi, and now he is in this committee. Mr. Anil Dhandwat, who is also president of Kshatriya Sangatna Maharashtra, he is a free market supporter, but he wants subsidy for export of sugar. He wants import duty on sugar. He wants interest-free loan for sugar stocks. So, in one way, he supports free market and he wants all these interventions. Such a person is there. And Ashok Gulati, he is constantly supporting these 3 laws. So how can this committee will give justice to the agitating farmers is really a $100 question to me. If Supreme Court wants...
before I go to my other guests, sir, I just want to ask you one simple question. Please tell me one thing. If you have a problem as far as the committee is concerned, why don't you go to the Supreme Court tomorrow and ask them and put your concerns as far as the committee is concerned? By coming out and saying our protest will continue, it doesn't matter what the court has said, even the tractor rally is going to continue on 26th. Are farmers now playing hardball as far as this entire, the confrontation with the government is concerned?
Not at all. That is what I was going to say. In your briefing, you have said that Supreme Court has also said that MSP will continue as it was continuing before 3 laws. My humble submission to Supreme Court is this: why they have not given direction to the government that when you are passing these 3 laws, you pass one more law in the parliament which will guarantee MSP to all 22 crops as a statutory price as sugarcane FRP is.
Okay.
That's all. And if after that, if Farmers Union will discuss on that.
All those concerns can be put in front of the committee which has been formed. I understand the concerns. I understand the concerns of the farmers, and let me take that to Mr. Guru Prakash. We do understand that 4 of these people, all of them, and we put it out with the pictures of all these people from the committee of what their public stand so far has been. Mr. Guru Prakash, a lot of farmers believe that the government tried to put the weight of their own shoulders by throwing it in the court of the ball in the court of the Supreme Court, and now even these 4 members, somehow the farmers believe are the back entry to what the government has been saying. They'll rather talk to Mr. Tomar than 4 members, those who have publicly stated the position in support of these farm laws.
Ankit, this is setting a dangerous precedent and institutionalizing the approach of my way or the highway. Let me tell you that as a party, Bharatiya Janata Party, we accept the decision of the Honorable Supreme Court with full humility. The entire nation is watching that from the beginning, our intentions were very clear: to help our poor, small and marginal farmers. And let me also tell you that in the coming days, we will continue to work for our farmers with full sincerity, conviction and devotion. We also sincerely hope that a section of our farmers and some farmer unions who have been protesting against the agriculture sector reform laws will also accept the decision of the Honorable Supreme Court. My point is, you see, the resilience of our republic, the structure of our constitution, the separation of power, the executive, the judicial bureaucracy is sacrosanct. There is no versus here. There was never a versus between the government and the farmer union. There was never a versus between the judiciary and the government of India. So we must understand, we must accept, we must keep in mind our nature of our republic and accept the decision of the Supreme Court of India. I seriously find that it is like setting a dangerous precedent when you are questioning the verdict of the Supreme Court of India. Ankit.
Okay. Mr. Hegde, with this decision of the Supreme Court, a lot of questions, sir, are being raised about judicial overreach. The basic premise is that people elect a government, elect a parliament, and that parliament is supposed to make the laws to govern the people. What would you say to those who are questioning the Supreme Court's decision, saying it's a dangerous precedent set by the Supreme Court, where it has now intervened in a policy matter which was basically between the government and the people of India?
The Supreme Court doesn't intervene on its own. The Supreme Court is petitioned. Here was a matter which was there before the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court gave it its anxious consideration on several occasions. It told the government that, look, come up with some formulation. This was well before the December vacations of the Supreme Court. Over a period of time, nothing happened. The situation is getting out of hand, at which point of time, all that the court has done is not saying the laws themselves, but only their implementation. It recognizes that this is an extraordinary order, but it hopes that this extraordinary order will allow both sides to step back and to have the matter carefully considered by a committee. Now, why a committee? All legislation should have ideally gone to a parliamentary committee earlier. There were requests in parliament that it should be so done. At that stage, the government of the day, fortified by its huge majority in parliament, had nothing doing. Now, if you push through legislation in a hurry and there is a public response, right? All that the court has done is, let's all hold our horses, let's maintain status quo, and then do the examination, which has not yet been done.
Okay, Mr. Hegde, I just want to understand from you, sir, for a layman, for somebody like me, if the farmers' unions say that they are not, because the court during the argument have also said that we don't want to hear that the farmers are not going to come in front of this committee. If the farmers' unions have decided the protest is going to carry on the way it is, and they are not going to go in front of the committee, can the court hold them in contempt?
See, I've read the order. There is no specific direction to the farmers. There is a hope expressed. But the farmers too should understand what the court has done. If farmers do not cooperate, it is not beyond the court's powers to recall its order. So even the stay order which has been granted can disappear. Therefore, this is a fluid situation. I would not like to game it ahead of things actually panning out.
Right. Mr. Guru Prakash, I just want a quick reaction from you, because this was a comment made by the court as well during the hearing. The court said you did not do due diligence before these laws came in. This kind of forming the committee and everything, even in sending it to the standing committee or anything, should have been done before the law was in fact passed, implemented. The court very clearly said that you have made a law where there is now a complete rebellion in many states. Don't you still think, sir, the government should have done due diligence before? It has been quite adamant as far as its stand on these bills are concerned due to the vast majority that it enjoys in the parliament.
Ankit, had we been adamant, the 9 series of talks that has happened would not have happened. And as far as the conversation or the discourse around agricultural reforms is concerned, the country has been discussing agricultural reforms for the last 30 years. Let me remind you, and also the viewers of your channel, that it was in 2003 that the government led by the then Honorable Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji set out Model APMC Act in 2003. 20 states replicated, 16 also issued notification. It was the economic advisors.
But Mr. Guru Prakash, I'm sorry I'm interrupting you here. I'm just quoting from what the Supreme Court had said during the argument, sir. The court, in fact, told the AG, don't go back to the previous government. We are talking about what you have done. Don't tell us that these consultations have been going on for far too long, because you are the government which has made new laws and implemented it.
It's extremely important to get a background and a foundation on which this conversation was happening, Ankit ji. Also, let me tell you that in our country only, there are history where legislations were passed within minutes. In a matter of minutes, Andhra Pradesh, a big state like Andhra Pradesh, was bifurcated. And you know for how many minutes was it discussed? Only 35 minutes. At least we had hours of deliberation in the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha before these reforms were passed.
Okay.
And at the civil society level, at the economic discourse level, this was being discussed. Be it Mr. Kaushik Basu, Arvind Virmani, Raghuram Rajan, all of them were chief economic advisors in
Sir,
the government. So this argument...
If there was such an important attempt by the government to build consensus, possibly we wouldn't have seen the kind of protest that we have and the kind of remarks that have been made by the Supreme Court. But Mr. Javandia, in conclusion, don't you think the farmers also need to dial down, sir? For any negotiation, there has to be give and take. If the farmers stick to their demand, to their hard position, how will there be a solution? There are people, those who are sitting here, old people, women, children, for the last almost 50 days now.
See, farmers are ready to talk. They want decision. They are afraid that after these three laws, the MSP protection will go away. You just see the writings of the Ashok Gulati. Why money of taxpayer is to be spent in Punjab to buy wheat and paddy. So how can farmer can trust on this? The farmers who have given us food security, we are questioning their economic security.
Okay.
I am constantly saying the MSP protection to the farmers of this country is necessary because in global market our prices are low and this is being accepted by Nitin Gadkari ji also. So why not government is coming with this that we will pass MSP Act and we will give you judiciary guarantee of MSP.
Well,
all that, just come with that and see what is the...
Sir, I get your point. I get your point because you've been making this point time and again since the time this entire agitation began. In the end and in conclusion, I would just like to say that the Supreme Court today at least has given an opportunity for dialogue between both the sides. If there are concerns, that should be raised with the court because it's been far too long. Whether the government is now put off their burden on the court or whether the farmers can somehow regain some sort of a trust that they have in this entire process by trying to get some other members in the committee, we will have to wait. But there has to be some breakthrough. Situation as is can't continue. It is getting very, very explosive by every passing day. Thank you so much, Mr. Guru Prakash, Mr. Hegde, and Mr. Javandia for joining me on this discussion on 6 p.m. Prime. I have to take a very quick break at this moment.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.